Yeah, it's definitely a family environment for me personally. They've been like a second family to me with some of my past experiences. So yeah, it's a place that I love coming to work. Some of these lads here are not just teammates, they're friends for life, and I know that's very cliche, but it's true. In February last year, my mum sadly lost her battle with cancer and passed away at the hospice down here in Wigan, and it was a very tough few weeks. It was a crazy roller coaster of emotions that week. Really is. Only 2 days before my daughter was born on the 1st of February, and my mum passed away on the 3rd. And funny enough, the hospice was actually the one and only place where my mum met my daughter, which makes it sort of a bittersweet place for me. It's got some very happy, very fond memories, but also some awfully sad memories. So yeah, and I think the way that Wigan, the playing group, the lads, all the backroom staff, everyone involved here, sort of got around me last year is something that me and my family will be sort of forever grateful for. I just sort of rang around a few people just to obviously tell them the sad news and just to explain what I'd be up to, and Matty was one of those. It was more for me because there was supposed to be a game the day after, and obviously wasn't going to be able to play, and there was a knock on the door about 40 minutes later, and he'd walked around from wherever he'd been, and he sat in our house for an hour, and I couldn't tell you what we spoke about, couldn't really tell you what the context of any of the conversations were, but he was just there. He just wanted to be there. Even if we just sat there in silence, I felt like he was offering his support, offering a shoulder to cry on, so to speak. And then later on that day, Liam Farrell and his wife came round to see us as well. So they were probably the first couple of people outside my family who we spoke to and who we saw. And yeah, Matty, I think it goes further than being a head coach and tactics and rugby stuff. He wants to try and make good people, like I said earlier, and he wants to create good bonds. And yeah, I think it's something that I'll always be grateful for, and it probably makes me want to play that bit more for him when you remember things like that. She spent a very short window there, but from the minute she arrived, she just probably looked comfortable and peaceful. The thing that we appreciated about it most is when we went there was just a bit of a calm about it. And even when we arrived in the early hours of Saturday morning, when she passed, it just felt like a nice place for her to have rested. And I know they do a lot, and that is a big part of what they do down at the hospice. And it's just sort of a bit of comfort for people in probably the most tough time.
Yeah. You got it there?
Yeah.
Look at that, suits you, that. Champion.
Big smile.
No teeth in.
So our patients are very varied. Wigan and Leigh Borough is massive, so we'll have any patient from the age of 18 years old, and some of them might have cancer, terminal illness, a different lung disease, all different patients are what we see. The care that we give, the nurses and the doctors give, are in care homes, people's homes. The work that I do heavily involves being at the hospice, but working with businesses, communities, schools, and without the community, without the rugby community, we wouldn't be able to exist because we're heavily supported by our community. How's baby for you?
Yeah, she's good.
She's not a baby now, is she walking?
17 months,
yeah.
She's starting walking.
Well, without it we wouldn't be going. So we're open 365 days a year. We need to be open because the care and the specialist care, the pain relief that we give, you're very lucky if you get that in other settings. So we get some of our money funded, but the majority of it is from fundraising and from generous people in the community, and yeah, without it we wouldn't be able to open our doors.
We obviously do a charity kit with the third kit every year, and for 2025 it's Wigan and Leigh Hospice, which is obviously a great charity and a great organisation within our community, and the kit had been designed and already passed, and then after my mum passed away, Chris Radlinski pulled me into his office to say that they were adding my mum's name to it, which I thought was an incredible gesture and fitted quite well, really. Like I said, about things always drop into place in a funny old way, and that's how it worked. And yes, he's always be remembered with Wigan Rugby and that kit, and I don't think there's been any other kit that's been bought so much in my family or my extended family, so it's definitely a special one. Even my brothers have got one. We've never bought a kit in my whole 10 years of playing, so it's gone down well in our house, and yeah. It's just something that we can remember, and it's a fitting gesture. It's something that they didn't have to do, but it just shows that extra sort of family touch that we spoke about.
So both Wigan Rugby and Leigh, obviously we cover that borough, have been fantastic with the hospice. So not only have they done personal fundraising, so it's fantastic that they've chosen to help support us. So I met Dean a while back now. When I first met him, I'd heard about his bet that he'd had. So he's a massive Wigan fan, but he'd bet that whoever won in the Wigan Leigh game, him and his friend would either have to wear the opposite shirt.
O'Brien on the right foot with a drop goal. The Leigh fans reach for the skies.
But since meeting him, we've become really, really good friends. He's massively contributed to fundraising for the hospice. He's like a mini celebrity. And yeah, I'm so grateful for the friendship that I've now got with him.
Here he is.
Hello, Adrian.
The big native, big time Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, I hear you're our #1 Leigh fan.
Yeah, de facto, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Looks all right, actually. My name is Dean Chadwick, and I am a massive Wigan Warriors rugby league fan. My dad was here for about 3 days last year before he passed away. He was in here due to a failed suicide attempt. When they found him, they called the paramedics immediately, and the paramedics did the job and saved his life. But unfortunately, the damage was done. The hospice were wonderful, the way that they looked after him, but mainly the way that they looked after my mum. They were very informative about what was going on with my dad, and they were making sure she was okay. And I will always be grateful for the way that they treated her and treated her with such respect and dignity. But they do a wonderful job here. And I'm just fortunate enough that over the last few months, I've been able to repay that debt. After meeting lots of other volunteers and becoming friends with them, it really is like a family. And the way that they've all sort of embraced me has made me go, well, yeah, this is where I want to be. I ended up raising £3,800, which isn't bad for just wearing a rival shirt, really, is it? You always see from afar when stuff like this happens with people, and how the rugby league always comes together and rivalry just completely goes out the window. And I've always experienced that from afar, but to be in the centre of it and to be the one to receive all that has been really overwhelming and really lovely.